What's up, everyone? It's about 6 a.m. Thursday morning. I'm on my way to pick up the other 3 rolling garage owners so we can all head down to Super G for their Super Drift Championship 2025 Worlds. I just got a new car. I stopped to charge it this morning, but I'm not talking about an RC car. Let me show you guys what I got. I got a Tesla, baby! I was in the market for a new car, decided on a Tesla, and I searched about every place I could for about a month before I found this performance all-wheel drive Model S for sale locally. Yes, I was actually looking on Craigslist, and yes, it is salvage title, but I was able to get it for $14,000 with about 76,000 miles, so I thought it was a pretty sweet deal. And then about 4 days after owning it, I had issues with the electronic door handle braking. Luckily, I had researched common issues before I bought the car, and got this fixed myself in a couple of days. After I got that handled, I started to add my own personal touches to the car, starting with these Halo disc wheel covers with some decals that I have on my Rev D GA18s. So far, they've been a big hit among the RC drift community. Needing a new tire put on before the trip, shout out to Sierra Wheel and Tire right down the street from RG for taking good care of the Tesla. If I ever get a flat, this is what the Allure would look like. Came on because the tire got dismounted but went away on the next drive. I had an idea for the big rear window on this car and Ryan helped bring it to life. And I can still see through it pretty well night and day. I started this trip at my local Tesla supercharger. The supercharger is mainly used for road trips where you need a quick charge to get you to the next charger or your destination. But for everyday charging, I just plug it in at home every night, and overnight I have a full tank or at least enough to get me to the shop and back. Depending on which charger you have, you could get basically a 100% charge overnight. Starting this trip off was the first time I had to drive the car in rain, and it was pretty heavy, perfect for testing the auto rain sensing wipers. One of the features I've used the most and couldn't have without after experiencing it is Tesla's enhanced autopilot. Featuring adaptive cruise control and lane assist with auto steering, autopilot allows me to kick back and relax on the highway while Tesla takes the wheel. The adaptive cruise control can be used separately with hard and soft pushes up or down of the stalk to adjust the cruise control speed by increments of 5 miles an hour or 1. Enhanced autopilot allows for simple lane changes across dash white lane lines using the turn signal stalk, and the system performs great in stop and go traffic. You can also adjust the follow distance to the car in front of you. Autopilot should only be used when the lane lines are clearly marked and visible, but it really takes a lot of the driving fatigue of long road trips away. There's a slight curve in the freeway here, and autopilot handles it beautifully.
Just own and drive now.
I usually kick the seat back when I use autopilot, and the Save Driver Profiles makes it easy to put my seat back to my preferred position when I'm ready to drive again. Also useful if you have multiple people driving the same car that have different seating positions or preferred cabin temperatures. My year Tesla doesn't have it, but the real crown jewel of Tesla's autonomous driving is Tesla's full self-driving, or FSD. This feature costs about $8,000 per car, or is available on a monthly subscription basis at $100 a month on 2023 and newer cars, and allows for true automatic driving on a supervised level. Just type your destination into the navigation and watch it go, and with constant updates and features being added, FSD is getting better and better every day. About 2 hours of driving later, and we made it to the second charge while we ate breakfast at a nearby McDonald's. Pretty much all Teslas you see have window tint. I don't yet, and Ryan and Carl got fried in the back seat, but I got this roof shade to at least try to block all the heat directly above from Tesla's signature full glass roof. Another hour and a half of Tesla spotting, and we made it to one of our favorite superchargers on the way to SoCal in the Central Valley. In addition to being within walking distance from a 76 gas station, Carl's Jr., Starbucks, and a Denny's, the Kettleman City Charger also offers a really nice Tesla lounge with clean bathrooms, a number of vending machines, comfortable chairs, and power outlets so you can hang out and relax while charging up. We have a dual zone climate control that can be switched to single if you want, automatic or manual controls, dual seat heaters, and some of the new models even come with heated steering wheels and heated rear seats. We have a keep mode that will keep the climate control at a certain temperature that you set it at after you leave the car until you come back. We have a dog mode that will keep the cabin at a set temperature and will leave a message on the screen saying there's an animal inside and the temperature set. And then a camp mode that will keep the cabin at a certain temperature until the battery reaches 20% for camping. The huge iPad inside the car houses all the car's menus and features. Controls has the headlight controls, which features an automatic high beam function that probably uses the front camera to detect when it's dark to turn the high beams on and back off once it detects light from other cars. There's controls for the power folding mirrors that can be set to fold at a location. I set mine to fold near this spot I was parked at, and you can see them fold automatically when I get near the spot. You can lock and unlock the doors, open the front trunk or frunk, the rear trunk, charge port, and one feature only found on these first gen Model S's is a full retracting sunroof. Nice when it works, but a lot of them don't, so eventually they just did away with them. The pedals and steering menu has different acceleration and steering modes. For acceleration, you have chill, which will be the slowest you can set the car to, all the way up to insane and insane plus. My car doesn't have the ludicrous or plaid mode, or I would have ludicrous and ludicrous plus. The ludicrous mode was a $10,000 option when this car came out, so it's rare to find a car that someone paid for the option on. Insane Plus is still just that. It's seriously insane how fast it gets up. Selecting it brings up this max battery power message, allowing you to pull 30% of the battery's power. Ludicrous mode is up to 60% of the battery's power. Once the battery is warmed up to temp, hold the brake and the gas pedal all the way down and let her eat. New plaids will do 0 to 60 in just under 2 seconds. The comfort steering mode lightens the steering and makes it comfortable to steer. Sport tightens it and increases the response, almost like a manual steering rack. There's also some settings for creep mode, which mimics a gas car's rolling forward when you let off the brake, but this feature was discontinued in newer models. And slip start and range mode that's supposed to increase range by lowering the HVAC and front motor power, but I don't use them. Most importantly is a setting us RC drifters might be familiar with called regenerative braking. Regen braking is like your ESC's drag brake function, but you're going to want to use this on a Tesla. How it works is when you let your foot off the accelerator, the motor slows itself down and it actually reverses the current flow, turning your motor into a generator, putting a small amount of electricity back into the battery, and creating Tesla's one pedal driving experience where some brake pads will last up to 100,000 miles. Along with regen braking, if you come to a stoplight and hold the brake for a second extra, it'll automatically hold the brakes for you. The Model S and X offer options for factory air suspension, with the newer models offering adjustable damping. This model can raise from a 6.9 inch height down to a 5.4 inch and in between. There's also an option for automatic lowering at high speeds and location-based raising, useful if you have a steep driveway at home. The autopilot menu has some settings for the autopilot, summon, and various safety features. The vehicle menu has settings for the door locks. I remember the first day I bought this car, I walked away wondering if the car would lock itself. It was funny looking back, but now I just walk away knowing the car will lock automatically. With the key fob with you, just walk up to the doors and the handles will automatically unlock and present if you have the setting enabled. Once you have your car connected to the Tesla app, we'll look at the app in a bit. If you leave any doors or windows open, you'll get alerts from the app, and you can also set it to exclude your home if you typically leave your windows cracked open all the time there. There's a setting to automatically tilt your side mirrors down in reverse, which is handy for parallel parking. but who needs to look at that when you have auto park? It can be a bit hard to get the option to pop up on my older car, but when it does, put it in reverse, start the auto park sequence, and the magic begins. The headlight controls being on the screen probably takes getting used to for most people, but a lot of the settings are automatic, including the option for auto high beams. I bought some like $100 bulb headlights, and they were better than what I had, but still not as bright as I wanted since the lights are still xenon based. New Teslas use LED headlights and have a cool technology built in called adaptive headlights. It'll actually detect oncoming cars and shut off that part of the light to prevent blinding them. Display just offers some options for display settings. There's 2 trip meters as well as one for your current drive and one since the last time you charged. Navigation is built into the car, including real-time traffic. New Teslas are fine, but this is real-time scrolling and loading on my first generation screen. Yeah, it's not that good. Even if I know where the supercharger is, I'll punch it into the navigation and the car will start preheating the battery so that it can get a faster charge rate. The safety menu has some safety features, including a top speed limiter for all you parents of angsty teens, and pins for driving and the glove box. One thing Tesla cleverly thought of was always changing the location of the pin entrance so you can't read someone's fingerprints off the screen. Smart. Cabin overheat protection keeps the inside of the car under 105 degrees for up to 12 hours after you leave, so you don't have to get back into a blistering hot car. The service menu has some DIY jobs that you can do, but the real service mode for the Tesla techs is hidden behind a secret password. Upgrades is for all the over-the-air updates Tesla provides. Not really any updates for the older cars like mine, but new cars seem like they're getting updates twice a month with improvements and new features. You can activate the backup camera full time if you need an extra rear view. Energy shows you the energy consumption of your driving. You can connect your phone, all your contacts, texts, and calendar all to your car. Of course, all Teslas come with an array of games to play while you wait to charge. The games on this first generation screen are pretty much unplayable. I could really use the MCU 2 screen update from today's video sponsor, Tesla. Just kidding, they don't know I'm making this video. The federal tax credit that gave $7,500 discounts on new cars and up to $4,000 discounts on used cars up to $25,000 may have ended at the end of September, but with the Model 3 and Model Y, their best-selling cars, and a new budget standard version available for each, there's still great deals to be had on Tesla's new and used inventory that update daily. According to Ike, who leases new Performance Y, purchasing a car from Tesla couldn't be easier than buying a car from another dealership. Just browse their online inventory, sign all your paperwork online, have your car sent to your local Tesla center, and pick it up. Whether you're thinking about buying, financing, or leasing a new or used model from Tesla's inventory, my referral will get you $500 off a brand new Model 3 or Y, $1,000 off a new Model S, X, or Cybertruck, or 3 months of full self-driving, a $300 value. And it gets me $250 towards that new screen upgrade, which is like $1,600 after tax, so I'll drop my referral link in the description. Especially needed after the screen adhesive started bubbling a month after owning, which I knew was also a common issue with this car. Our fourth and final charging stop before we drove straight to Super G was right before the Grapevine for a birria lunch. There's also an internet browser included with the car, but it's pretty much also unusable until I get the MCU 2 upgrade, which allows for a faster connection and user interface. And every Tesla has the toy box, which everyone messes with once and then has no interest in after. After an 8-hour road trip that usually takes about 6 in a gas car, we finally made it to Baldwin Park.
Feels like nobody's watching.
You know, I had to pick up one of the A-Plastics Model 3 bodies while I was down here. Every morning before we headed over to Super G from the Garden Grove area where we were staying in, I had to charge up to 80% from about 25%, which took about a half an hour each morning. Now let's take a look at Tesla's streamlined phone app. There's options to open the front, trunk, and on my car, vent the sunroof. You can also flash the lights or honk the horn to find your car in a parking lot. On the Model X and Cybertruck, you can remotely open and close the doors. You can remotely turn on your climate control, adjust the temperature, turn seat and steering wheel heaters on, vent and defrost windows, and turn your cabin overheat protection on. Location shows where your car is parked and is useful for remembering where you parked, but also pulls up Tesla's navigation, and if you're going on a long road trip, planning out your charging is no sweat because the navigation picks the most efficient charging stops for you. If you're pre-planning out a trip on your phone, you can adjust your departure battery level if you're going to charge your car up beforehand, and it'll automatically adjust your stops, and once you're ready to leave, you can send the trip right to your car's navigation. Summon allows you to remotely control the car. Get it? RC? My car only has forward and backward summon, which is still useful for pulling in and out of tight spots if you can't open the door far enough to get in and out, and has been a fun party trick for me to show people in front of the shop. For FSD users, you have actually Smart Summon available. Summon your car from up to 280 feet away right from the app. Really useful if you're parked in a big parking lot and don't want to walk to your car. Schedules can be set by location for driving, so your car automatically gets the battery ready to drive and the interior cooled or heated by the time you're ready to leave. You can set the car to start charging during off-peak hours when electricity is cheaper. My car starts charging at midnight when my local utilities has a super off-peak time set up for EV owners. Under Charge Stats, you can enter all your local utilities' peak hours and pricing, so the app can accurately calculate your charging costs and estimated gas savings. Charging 15% overnight for my everyday driving only cost me about $1.20. Security and Drivers offers mobile control for the speed limit mode and a valet mode that limits top speed and acceleration modes, and access to the glove box and front. Upgrades houses new software updates if there are any available, accessories available for your model from the Tesla shop, available service plans, and installable upgrades you can buy directly in the app and have your local Tesla service center install. You can schedule a service appointment with Tesla right in the app for any issues that come up with the car, as well as get roadside assistance, which is handy since no Tesla comes with a spare tire. We stopped by the new Tesla diner to charge before heading back to Sacramento. Did I mention all the supercharging on this trip has been free on this old Tesla? There's a few features that I wish my car had. Since I got this car, I've been getting reels of the really high-end luxury cars, and I've been seeing some of the features on those cars. Ventilated and massaging seats. My back could really use massaging seats, but newer Teslas are coming with the ventilated seats, which would be nice on my black leather seats. Power front and trunk liftgate would be nice too. A rear power liftgate was an option on the first gen Model S and is standard on the newer cars. An electric tinting sunroof is a cool feature that I've seen on some Audis and BMWs, and just tint in general to keep the inside cool. Blind spot cameras on the side mirrors or even a blind spot light is missing on these early Teslas, but featured on newer Teslas. Some auto dimming side mirrors because I've already been blinded by some cars, and the adaptive LED headlights. I wish my headlights were bright enough to blind people like I've gotten blinded by all these 2025 LED headlights, but the adaptive matrix headlights balance the best of both worlds. With about 2% the amount of moving parts in a Tesla's drivetrain compared to a gas car, regular maintenance is much less on a Tesla. Wipers and washer fluid whenever you need them, the cabin air filter every 1 to 2 years if you care. Brakes, like I said, could last you up to 100,000 miles if you drive slow enough for the regen braking to mostly slow you down. And the drive motors have oil and a filter that can be changed every 60,000 miles. Many will say the extra weight of EVs causes accelerated tire wear, but I haven't seen it yet on my car, and I think it's mostly alignment and driving habit based. Suspension components will wear out eventually like any car, but replacement parts are easy to get. Before I bought this car in the middle of July, I was skeptical about EVs and the battery range just like everyone else, although I knew electric cars would eventually be a big part of future transportation. I mean, look at our drift cars. There's a reason why we aren't drifting nitro power RSC cars. I just wanted to wait until battery technology got a little better, but after Ike, Hector, and Nick bought theirs, I convinced myself to try to keep up with the Joneses. I just made sure to do some research before to see if my life situation could support EV ownership. I'm fortunate enough to be able to charge at home every night, even if it's a slow charge off a standard wall outlet, but it's enough for my daily commute, which was a big factor in buying this car. If you don't have a way to charge at home overnight, an EV may not be the best choice for you, unless you don't mind paying to sit at chargers every couple of days, but you could potentially even charge while out doing weekly errands. I wanted a newer car with some tech while still suiting my personality, and I think the Model S balances both well. It has a legacy Tesla look that makes it still look like a regular car, with all the speed and convenience of an EV. Sure, some of the features I mentioned have been on other cars for years, but I think Tesla did pretty good for a 10-year-old car. On top of the price you can find some of these first-gen Model S's for. A lot of base versions are under $10,000, and a lot feature free lifetime supercharging. And if you thought this car was impressive, you'll be blown away by the tech on 2026 Tesla models, because there's still so many features that I couldn't show because my car doesn't have them. With such great tech in these cars and Tesla's great supercharger network integration, it's no wonder you see so many of them driving around now, especially in California. Anyways, with that being said, if you made it all the way to the end, thanks for listening to my TED Talk on Teslas. Well, it's about midnight on Monday night, Tuesday morning. I'm ending this trip where I started it at the Delta Shore Supercharger. The whole trip was about 1,000 miles and about 12 hours to get back, with stops for charging and eating. The car did great and we were all comfortable riding considering how much we had to take. We averaged about 4 stops from SoCal to NorCal at about half an hour each. It could be a bit less with a newer car like Ike's Model Y that charges a bit faster, but we found stuff to do while we were charging. Teslas make some of the best daily drivers if you have the ability to charge it at home, and the charging network integrated with the navigation makes the trip stop seamless. If you're looking for a new car with all the tech and are tired of paying for gas, I think I see a Tesla in your future, because it is the future. Until the next video, we'll see you next time.
That's a self-parking. Come on, Elon.
This was pretty much the first time I ever got to use Auto Park. I think I had some settings misadjusted for something else. It worked after this though, dead ass.
But they say it's just because she's younger, so she has a weaker.
These Ziploc bag, I don't know if it's in my fucking bag. Here. Up your ass. Be on your best behavior.